Hello, YouTubers out there. This is Jerry the Movies with your host, Jerry Saravia. I didn't do my usual introduction today because I wanted to cut right to the chase of this story that came out in the entertainment world, of course. And it's one of those usual stories where somehow real life events in some way mirror or reflect movies or vice versa. And in some cases where someone takes a stand uh, against what it is that is featured in a movie because it's too close to real life. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about somebody that I actually had commented on not too long ago. That would be Jim Carrey. Now, Jim Carrey, not too long ago, was the voice of much ridicule and animosity for doing a Funny or Die video, which dealt with Jim Carrey poking fun at Southern stereotypes or Southerners, and really both, and Charlton Heston, and sort of mimicking anti-gun control laws that are out there by making fun of the whole thing. So I never really thought there was anything to take offense from any of that, but apparently those who own guns took offense at Jim Carrey, and that's why the title of one of my last videos was called Jim Carrey's the New Bill Maher, which is a way of saying, since when is Jim Carrey so political? It's kind of a new thing for him, a new frontier, as it were. But today came out this news that Jim Carrey tweeted some reservations early this evening on the Kick-Ass 2 trailer. Why? Because Jim Carrey is actually in Kick-Ass 2. And he said, and I quote, "I did Kick-Ass a month before Sandy Hook. And now, in all good conscience, I cannot support that level of violence. I meant to say my apologies to others involved with the film. I am not ashamed of it, but recent events have caused a change in my heart." Now, Mark Miller, who is the creator of the Kick-Ass comics, as well as the executive producer of the films, shared some thoughts on this and said he was confused by Jim Carrey's comments. Said Jim Carrey in the film plays a character named Colonel Stars and Stripes. Now, in I saw the trailer for this film, and it's very, very, very violent, uh, but cartoonishly so. Just an extreme cartoonish, perhaps garish violence. And he knocks out a couple of people with a bat and does a little bit of damage. Now, apparently, what endeared Jim Carrey to this role in the first place was that the character never actually fired a gun. Um, so there's that. And now he's saying that I guess he saw the trailer and saw just how violent this movie is. Now, he must have read the script because although I've not seen the original Kick-Ass, and I can't say I am really willing to see it because I've seen other movies of that type, for example, Super, that were just exceedingly violent, but I didn't find that there was anything new to say, and that the violence is somehow the main crux of Kick-Ass. Not to mention other superhero themed type films with a more realistic background, I guess you could say. At any rate, um, he must have read the script and been aware of these comics, or at least the first Kick-Ass film. Now, what's odd about Jim Carrey saying all this is that, first of all, Sandy Hook did happen in December of last year. So we're talking now 6 months after the facts. And what does that have to do with the movie? I really don't know. But I think because of it, it makes you wonder and go back in time. And you go back in time to 1996. And what happened in 1996? Jim Carrey made a movie called The Cable Guy, which is a very dark black comedy, extremely dark, and very violent to some degree because he means to inflict harm and a little bit nasty. I mean, it's not one of my favorite Jim Carrey vehicles, although I am a fan of black comedies, and he actually does have some strong moments in it. I didn't care for the film at all. But I guess, I'm a little confused by this because what is it that Jim Carrey expected? And why is he saying this now? And what is really going on now? The creator of the Kick-Ass comics has alluded to the fact that Jim Carrey is now very much for some measure of gun control. Um, but I actually was not even aware of that, but apparently that's a thing of his. Now, whether you're for gun control or not has nothing to do with the movie. Because if already in this movie he never actually fires a gun anyway, then what is the problem? We're talking about cartoonish violence. If you look at the trailer, it's very cartoonishly violent. I mean, uh, but just definitely over the top and doesn't really endear me to see this movie one bit. So my thing is, you have to separate one thing from the other. You absolutely must. If you don't want to do these type of movies, then you must have known what type of movie it was, considering it was a sequel to a fairly well-known film that caused a little bit of controversy at the time that it was released. So, and there is violence. So, what is the deal here? I don't know. Who knows? But if he really is going on this path, well, it's a little too late, isn't it? And I think someone pointed out if when the movie comes out and it's released in theaters, what is he going to do? Not promote the film? They're going to expect Jim Carrey to promote it. So my thought on that is, Jim Carrey, please separate reality from fiction. And this is Jerry the Movies with your host, Jerry Saravia, signing off.